Because I've got you, I've got you. You're looking at the stars and you feel it in your heart.
We're here with Larissa Ryan and Michelle Grace Hunter. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, we're excited. We're talking about something that we're Locke and I are pretty energised by, and that's Clubhouse. How did it start for you guys?
Do you want to tell a story? I feel like you should tell a story. Yeah.
We all just were early adopters. So we jumped on and started, because when you go on Clubhouse, you randomly hop into a room, and we just hopped into a room together, and we hadn't met in person.
Until today?
Until today, actually, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
strange, yeah.
But it's been 8 weeks of twice a week.
Yeah, talking every day
Yeah.
for 8 weeks basically.
Yeah.
So who was the first one to get on the Clubhouse train? Was it you, Larissa? Was it you talking with Claire and then getting other connections involved, like Michelle?
It just really happened organically. I think we were all the type of people that are drawn to that kind of thing. And yeah, we're glued together. This little community.
Well, Clubhouse is such an interesting platform as it's audio only, it's invite only. How did you go around those barriers in building a community?
Well, I think because the community that kind of did come together, we all come from, I know one of the key words at the moment is often diversity, but the thing is when you actually start with a group that is, you create that community. So we noticed really quickly that the people that we all brought in, it came a really beautiful space between emerging, mid-level and senior. And just people talking about ideas and thoughts. And so it's quite, it's not recorded, and you'd think that it could go in a different direction, but it's a really safe space and really respectful.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think I get the most out of is that there's people from every single level. You've got emerging people, and obviously I'm a photographer, so there's heaps of young music photographers that are really keen to connect with artists or labels or managers, and they're all in that space. So it's that would never usually happen. So you've got this really beautiful organic room and everyone's talking about all aspects of the industry in a room together. So there's no hierarchy. It really breaks down those barriers. So it's really cool.
And you can't message on the platform too. So you can connect your Instagram account and your Twitter account. So do you have people sliding into your DMs asking to connect and get some advice or work and collaborate together? Has that happened a lot for you girls?
Absolutely, yeah, totally. I think that's probably one of my favourite things about the app actually is the people that you can meet, even outside the music industry as well. This is connecting with people from all over the world with different interests, but specifically in the music industry, I've met the most incredible people internationally as well. People are really open to being able to link through DMs through either Instagram or Twitter, so you can continue to build your own audience through a completely different platform as well, which is really cool.
I guess we can probably rewind it back and go, what is the purpose of the Australian Music Clubhouse? What is the core purpose behind it?
Well, it kind of started as it's to have a yarn, which I'm a Wamba woman, so a yarn is to build a respectful relationship, but it's also obviously Aussie slang. And so we would get on there and we'd start talking about a topic, and instead of it being 25 words or less, we go, it's a real conversation. And so in terms of the, and linking it even back to brands, the trend of authenticity and the trend of how can we help, it's just, that's what we talk about, how we can help each other. And because we've all been in isolation for the last year and people overseas are, because although it's the Australian Music Club, we had a producer called Omen pop in. He's worked with Drake and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We got Beyonce stories and Drake stories. It was great. And he's come back a couple of times now. And so it's not about how many people in the room, it's about who's in the room.
Love that.
And anyone can actually be in the room if they click to be in.
Yeah.
It's actually, although it is currently in beta stage, so it's only on an iPhone, it's the most inclusive space that I've ever seen to have access to people who are at the top of their game.
And I think too, the people that are currently on the app are just so welcoming and open to helping, so that if you do DM them, they'll get back to you straight away. And I just feel like all of those early adopters are there for a reason. They're there to either learn or to share information. So you just see a lot of people that are just willing to collaborate and share, which is really cool.
And we essentially just wanted to create a space where we could convince everyone else to be an early adopter too, because like if you were someone who maybe got onto Instagram about 5 years too late, I'd say jump onto Clubhouse now. Yeah.
I agree, yeah. We weren't on Instagram earlier or anything like that, but then sort of seeing how Clubhouse has evolved, even with the updates and starting your own club, how important is consistency? Like you guys are Monday, Wednesday night, if I remember right. Yeah, 8 o'clock.
It is really important, yeah.
Well, there you go.
You're part of the club.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. I'm a worker, I'm a stalker.
You are always there.
Yeah, I'm always there.
It's kind of like it's for the Australian music community to connect out, like not just artists, but all of us. And they say it's a space for real names, and then you put your alias second, and that's, I think it says a lot about what it's for. It's about the people who create in some way. But consistency is important. So I would suggest instead of just necessarily going like wanting to start your own club because you can, it's actually better to kind of like team up as a community and create a space that then you can run your own particular room in. Because that's...
If everyone tries to do their own thing, it's a bit messy, and if you all sort of come together and share them diverse ideas, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, if you have a purpose for a club or a room, I think it makes sense. But, you know, with the consistency, if you think about it like your favourite television show, you always know if that's on at a certain time every week or 2 times a week. You try and be like that. So, you know, you can come to us Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock, you know that we're going to be there every week, and there's always a different topic, there's always different people that we're talking to. So hopefully it makes it interesting, and, you know, we try and get as many new people on the stage as possible every week to ask questions and to be involved. And yeah, it's been really cool. It's been lots of fun.
Michelle's the bouncer.
I am the bouncer.
You're the mob lord.
Yeah.
You let them up, or you push them back down off the stage?
I do.
Yeah.
It's just to keep, you know, everything moving and make sure everyone gets to ask their questions in a very nice way. You can just, after you ask your questions, you can move them off and someone else can come up.
Well, I think it's a really important skill, like spending some time on Clubhouse and trying to listen to people now, like moderate conversations. They can get sort of off track pretty quickly. And but I was surprised too, Larissa, when you mentioned before how open and welcoming people are on the app. I've never really gone there. Everyone's like, "Hey, so nice to meet you," and I'm like,
You're forced into it kind of thing. Like you ping into a room and they're like, "Hey, you," and they single you out, and you're like, "Oh, I have to chat now."
You have to come up to the stage. Yeah, I think that's actually really true. But I've actually lurked in a lot of different Clubhouse rooms to learn how to moderate really efficiently. So I've kind of taken what I've seen in other rooms that works really well and keeps the conversation flowing and gets as many people up to the stage as possible, and try and adopt that with our club. So
love that. Has there been any moments that stood out over the last 8 weeks? Obviously, hearing some Drake stories must have been pretty cool. But anything you want to share?
I don't know. I think for me, it's the music industry. So we had a lot of people that do a similar thing from different organisations in a space. And it was really nice to see everyone just be people like passionate about music. And I think that by elevating everyone together, it elevates the entire environment. And that's something that we've kind of just watched keep happening. And it's quite organic. So
I think I've forgotten his name, the guy from the Lullaby Club.
Oh, Axel.
Axel, yeah. So Axel from the Lullaby Club popped in one night. He's the
I
icon
was
of
gonna say,
Clubhouse.
It just changed.
It just changed this week. But
What do you mean, the icon of the actual...
Yeah. So they
That's
have
cool.
an icon for, like, the person is the icon for 3 months, I think. So he was the last one, and he popped into our room one night, and he was just so amazing and generous, and you know, there was a lot of people that filtered into the room because of him, and he was just so generous with his time, and just
It's like 1,000 people.
Yeah, it was wild. So
It was like-
See the numbers.
yeah, so I think one of the biggest, definitely the biggest room that I think we've done. But just to see someone like that that's had so much exposure through Clubhouse to come into our room and just be really generous of his time and tell us about what he's doing with his club. And he had John Mayer in his room and stuff like that. The people on the app now, it's pretty amazing. So, yeah.
I can't believe John Mayer.
So what's the future for the Australian Music Club on Clubhouse? Like, what are you guys doing? What's in the pipeline, I suppose?
Well, we've got such an incredible, passionate admin team. In other words, anyone who starts doing it for a few weeks in a row with us gets inducted into our WhatsApp group chat where we organise everything. We're going to start organising it so the yarn happens on a Monday, and then we do a music spotlight on the Wednesday, and we really want to encourage it to do one acoustic performance of a song and just chat about the creative process. And because you're chatting with peers and other creatives, it's a slightly deeper conversation. There might be pauses, but you learn a lot in those conversations. So that's where it's at the moment. We've seen some brand partners happen with the BBC crew and a couple of them. But yeah, it's still very early. It's like 8 weeks now.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still in its infancy, and I mean it's exciting just to be involved at this point where it is so new, and you don't really know where it's going to go. You don't know where the app's going to go, and they've started monetization for certain people and stuff like that. So everything's in its infancy. It's really exciting. I think we just want to encourage as many people from the industry to join so we can have more amazing conversations, really.
100%. Clubhouse, such an interesting space, so cool to watch, and thank you so much for jumping on and having a chat.
The things I would